Stick 'em up! Hey everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to some more Steampunk here with the shoddy. Still just as useful as ever, although it's not as good as I want it to be, so hopefully sometime soon we can find an upgrade for this gun, and I'm thinking maybe we'll do the rail gun from Immersive, since I'm going to be jumping into it here with y'all anyways. So, and we're going to have a really good power source for recharging it. So I'm thinking why not, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Between episodes, I did quite a bit of stuff, but nothing too exciting. We'll just show you here. I did the what I mentioned there in getting my Tom Simple storage terminal set up. I don't have the crafting terminal yet, but as I mentioned before, you just need that inventory connector there. And as soon as it's touching one chest, it will connect any other inventories that are connected to it. And I believe that does include these limited barrels from the sophisticated storage mod. So as you can see, I can't click on the front of it because of that, but we're at 2155 in there, and yes, we can see the cobblestone in the system through the storage terminal there. Like I mentioned last episode there, we'll get to the crafting terminal in a little bit, which will be a much better quality of life upgrade, but for now I just wanted to get all that there so that I could get into it. And then the other thing that I'll be doing, the reason why I haven't, extended this and put the terminal on the wall and hidden all of this as yet, is I want to get all of the inventories upgraded to this sophisticated storage kind. So in here you can see we've got some of the settings that you can do, like memorizing slots and other settings that you can do in the regular storage. But if you upgrade to the iron version, then you get an upgrade slot, and this is what we'll be doing with the upgrade slots, is just putting in the stack upgrades so that we can improve our storage capacity just that much more, right? So there's several different variations of these. So the recipe is fairly simple, just the upgrade base, which is 4 iron. And we'll go back to here. The recipe for the regular one is just 8 logs plus the upgrade base, but then the next tier requires quite a bit of iron. So once we get enough iron, we'll get there. But the first thing we got to do with our iron is to make all of the chests the iron version, right? So we'll get an extra row, so we'll get 9 extra slots. And the stack up the upgrade slot there, where we'll be able to double the number of stacks, or we'll be able to fit 128 per slot instead of just 64, right? And then the other thing that I did between episodes was clear out this room here for where we're going to be putting our immersive engineering stuff. And I've got things planned out where I'm going to be putting my machines. And I like I mentioned in the last, or either the last episode or a couple episodes ago, I wasn't going to be doing the water wheels, but the quest book kind of compelled me to do it. So reluctantly, I'll be doing that for our beginning power structure here. So the quest book has us, once we create the engineer's workbench, then it wants us to do the water wheel, and it gave us 2 more water wheels as a reward. So we get the 3 water wheels anyways. So we'll be able to get the 88 RF per tick water wheel thing going. So that'll be better than the other option that I had going for it. And then the quest book wanted the kinetic dynamo as well, so I may as well, I just caved and said we may as well do the water wheels here for our starting power until we can get the the crusher run to get our nitrate dust that we need to put into the fermenter. Fermenter? No, the refinery. At any rate, I have the kinetic dynamo and our 3 water wheels here. If anybody out there's seen this setup already, you can probably skip ahead about 10 to 15 minutes. But I just wanted to go over, for everybody's sake there, how to properly set up these water wheels to get the most RF per tick out of them. Because whereas in the past, Create used to give you more stressed units per side that you had flowing water around, but then they changed that where it doesn't. But Immersive Engineering has always had this, and as far as I know, it is still in the game. I didn't find anything, at least on YouTube, to counteract that. So I've gone and dug out my area here and got it set up and ready to go so that I can just talk about it quickly with you. And as well, for anybody that wants to do it themselves, you just go and check it out on YouTube and you'll be able to find it really easily. Oh, I don't want it there. I want it here. So it will place in a way. You just have to make sure that the circle part is facing towards the outside of where you want it to go. So I might need a placement block here. Just so I can stand here and put it down. I thought this had dots on all sides, but I guess just the 3 sides where you can pull the power out. So where these dots are the areas where you can actually pull the power out of the machines. So when you have that open hole there, that's where you connect either your water wheel, or if you want to go with the windmill, that's where you would connect your windmill as well. So we'll put that guy in there. I'm not going to put down the other 2 just yet because we're going to talk about this setup here. So give me a second while I'll bring it up on screen for you folks. So on here, you just Google or not Google, but search water wheel there. I mean, even though this is a year ago, this should be fine for demonstration purposes anyways. But this is how the setup is, and you want 3 different water sources per each wheel. So we're going to need 9 water sources for the triple wheel setup, right? So we'll be putting, I can't pause that there. Maybe we'll just do it live, so pop that out of the way and do it here. So basically you're going to have 2 blocks across at the top there, and then a space, and then 1 down, a set of blocks there as well. You'll be putting a water source against this here so that it can flow this way, and it will flow across there, down there, and then across the bottom. And I do have it set up there. Then we'll be putting another water source right here, which will push against the wheel here to give it a little bit more spin. And then we will be putting another water source here to flow this direction because the wheel's going to be spinning clockwise. And this will give it an extra little push from this side here. Now, unfortunately, we don't have like a good visual thing for immersive right now. I think there was one. There's a multimeter, I think, that you could click on. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, and we can demonstrate that. Let me go craft this up, and we'll test it live. All right, we're back, and after a little bit of testing, I got it figured out. So we actually need this to be hooked up to power to be able to do anything. So we'll hook it up to a battery here. So I've decided to go with just the medium voltage setup. Just there are a few reasons that I can point out in there. So if we go, we're in the basic wiring section here. And it tells us that, so we have an input value. So each low voltage can handle up to 256. I imagine this is per tick, 1024 for medium and 4096 for high voltage. And then there's maximum transfer rates, which is 2048, 8192, and then 32768 for the high voltage. We're only going to be producing 4096 from the diesel generator, but that's going to be spread out over 3 different connections. So it's going to be a little bit more than 1024 per connection, but that's fine. We'll lose out on a little bit of generation just to have the availability to have safe wiring, because you can get insulated medium voltage wires, but you can't get insulated high voltage wires. And I'm building in an area where I've got limited space. Like, I'll definitely be making this higher when we get the machines all set up and going in here. But at certain points we may want to run wires inside the base, and you definitely don't want to be touching any high voltage wires that are running any current, because they'll definitely hurt you quite bad. So we've made the medium voltage wire connector, relay, and an accumulator. I guess the other one thing that I don't have right now is my hammer, because we're going to need that. So I'm just going to run a temporary setup for now. So we're going to put the connector onto the generator, and then we'll run it out to a relay right here. Looks good. And then we'll put our battery just here for now. Now, actually, we'll take this down and we'll take a look at it. So when you put it down, it'll have this coloring on the top, but none of the other sides are configured at all. You can use your hammer to configure the sides. So the one with the blue dots, I'm pretty sure, is an input, and it will tell you right there, facing side, energy input, energy input. If we go to the copper colored dots, that's energy output, and then no connection, obviously, on that side there. So don't need anything on the top for now, so I'm just going to unconfigure it, and we'll put this back to where it needs to go. Right there, and then we'll put that as an input there. Actually, let's put this down kind of where I might be using it anyways. Oh, I want it one more. I just happen to be missing a block where I want that to go to. Lovely. We'll have the input there. We'll put down another connector there. And we'll hook this all up. So there to there. And to there. And our multimeter should be showing there energy stored, so we're starting to go up, right? Yeah, so it doesn't actually give us the actual input and output, but we can tell. Geez, nighttime again, hey? A couple of other things that we can see is that the wheel will visibly turn faster when we've got more water sources placed in the appropriate spots. Right, so I did just the first one, which is the smallest gain that you get. And we can see the speed that it's moving at there. And if I put another source there, like I said, flowing this direction, it's sped up a little bit. Because we've got another extra paddle or two going. And then the biggest one will be this, the main water source here, which is this one. And we'll see here, this will be turning at pretty good speed there now. Water's kind of spilling out, but that's fine. That we'll clear that up there in a little bit. But if we come over and we have a look at the thing now, we can see it's starting to go up quite a bit. Like, you know, we're getting 1,000, well, yeah, 500 every second or so in there right now. So it's gaining quite quickly. And we don't, because we've got the insulated wires there, if we happen to be running down there, then we don't actually hurt ourselves on the wires. So I do need to just clean this up a little bit so I can get the rest of the water hooked up. I'm just going to do that so it doesn't start spilling out all over the place. And yes, I totally misjudged where it was going to come down. Make it impossible for me to work here. All right, enough of you guys watching me derp around. I'll get the rest of the water sources placed and we'll come back and we'll build the first couple of machines. All right, and as you can see here now, we're getting 2,000-ish RF redstone flux there per second or so. So I'm not doing the calculations in my head, but it should work out just fine. So yeah, so we're gonna start building our first couple of machines here so we can start using some of this energy. I got the machines laid out the way I think I need them to be. So if we hit this button here, we can see the completed machine. So I need the output here to be facing towards the what's it called? Refinery machine. Because the refinery's got the inputs one on each side. So we'll have the ethanol coming in one side and the seed oil coming in the other side. And the inputs there are on each end with an output on the front. So I've set these up so that we'll have this, the press here, what are these things called again? The squeezer there, this will be the fermenter on this side, and we just have to figure out which way to orient the builds so that they go in, so that they form correctly, so that the outputs go onto the correct side. So the side where the light engineering blocks go is going to be the far away side, and the redstone engineering block is going to be where the output ends up going. So yeah, if you just mess around with those controls, then you can get the proper setups going. And then, like I said before, you can rotate this around and such to see exactly how it's all going to be built there. So We'll tear this all out and then start working on our first multi-block. Right, so along the bottom we'll have 2 steel scaffolds, then the light engineering block, and then the 4 other scaffolds with 2 pipes in the middle here. So 2 pipes like that. I do want this one to be the light engineering blocks. In the middle, on the second layer, we'll have 4 barrels, the redstone engineering block. And on the top, 3 steel fences and a piston. So I got too many steel fences, but and I think this piston needs to be facing downwards, so we'll just grab our engineer's hammer and we should be able to rotate this. No. So let's do it this way. No, so let's do it this way. It's been such a while since I've had to fiddle with these machines. I do apologize for that. There we go. And if we look on the book and we can read through, and it'll tell us which block that we have to hit to form it, but it also is outlined in red here on the machine as well. So we just take our hammer, hammer the block, and this is our formed machine. So this is our redstone control area. This block here is where the power comes in with the gold dot on it. This is where our items will go into the squeezer, either this one or this one. And then our output is going to be this one here. So we'll just grab a connector, put it up on top there, grab a piece of wire. And this guy's getting power now. And we'll just do the same thing over here to make our fermenter. Need that right now, don't need that, don't need that. On this one, we're going to just swing this around this way so I know how to get it started. So this one again is all the steel scaffolds, and then the light engineering block will be in the corner on the other side. the two there. In the second row, we'll have our 4 cauldrons, the other engineering block, and the redstone engineering block. That guy goes there. Those 4 go there. And this says 4 iron sheet metal, but I only see 3 iron sheet metal in this. Yeah, okay, there it is. I just had it paused in the wrong place. Then we hammer this cauldron in the middle. And we have something wrong. I really managed to get these twisted around the wrong way. I still do want it facing this way. 3, 2, the light engineering blocks, 2 redstone block, 4 cauldrons, and then the 4 iron sheet metal. Don't think it's because of these, but I'll clear them all out just in case. Oh, it was because of those dirt blocks up there. So this guy is pretty much exactly the same, only because it's facing the other direction. There we've got the input over on this side here. And that is now an output. And I'll need 1 more connector. I guess the other thing that I could do, we'll just check this quickly so we can see this guy's already full up with RF. It should hold its charge even after we break it and replace it. This is the input, right? Yep, input. Wire connector, just check, it still has its energy. Hook that back up to the battery, and then we can also hook that connector into the machine here. That's not going to be able to go directly there, so I can use another connector halfway down here. It'll just take more wiring to get it all done. But we don't need do this to there. Just break that to get our wire back. That to there. And it's getting power now. So we'll have the inputs will be on this side, so it'll just be some manipulation of our garden cloches to be able to get the items into each of these guys here. So in here, also with the fermenter, it'll give us a list of how much ethanol each of these things will produce for us. So if we put in melon slices, we'll get 20 millibuckets per melon slice. Beetroots, each beetroot would give us 40. I was going to do beetroots because beetroot here gives us ethanol. Oh, and in the squeezer, beetroot seeds gave us the plant oil. The other thing that they had in common was melon, but in order to go from the melon slice to the melon seeds, which the squeezer would need, we would probably need to get, or probably have to put in a create machine to like a, what's it called, machine? Crafter, the crafting things. Mechanical crafters. We'd probably need one of these, and obviously some kind of power source to be able to craft the slices into the seeds to be able to put into this there. So I was going to do beetroots just with the seeds going into here, and then the fruit going into this guy, and then that would suffice for all of our needs there. But because I've got these machines so far apart, I might be able to do one cloche setup here just for the squeezer, and then do another cloche setup down on this side for the fermenter. I'm not 100% sure on that, which is why we're cutting this episode off here, because I still have more plans to do, but pretty happy with the progress we've got going on here for now. Like I mentioned, we'll be making this area a little bit bigger, so I'll get some of this wiring up higher off of the ground and more accessible and cleaner. Maybe get a couple more batteries, although I don't think I need any more. I think having 1 million there is going to be lots for running that crusher just to get the 1 nitrate we need to get this refinery up and running. Anyways, I hope you appreciated this, or I hope you enjoyed this this episode. And as always, I'll get this cleaned up as well. I appreciate you all for checking it out, and we will see you in the next one.